That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him. Today's woodworking project is a great little scrap wood idea. And when I say scraps, I mean scraps. Real scraps. I have no idea where the time has gone, but summer is gone and I got half my projects done. Not even. And fall is here, and I have only begun to touch that list. But this is my favorite time of the year. Not just the colors in the trees and Halloween, but the smells. You walk in from the cold, chili, simmering, beef stew, fresh bread, hot chocolate. It doesn't get better than that. All right, today's build is small and mighty, and it's not just for the fall season, but for every season thereafter, to help you catch that little whiff of lavender in the spring or pumpkin and cinnamon in the fall. And no, it's not a candle holder, although I want to make a couple more of those soon enough. Today, we need 3/4 inch stock here. I just gathered up all the usual suspects, and now we need the longest to be 7 inches. Now, I have a plan. I need the size to be approximately 7 inches tall, 5 wide. I was originally thinking 5 strips an inch wide, but I don't think that will work. So let's go 7 at 3/4 inches wide and see where that puts us. Every 4 is 3 inches, and 3 would be 2 1/4, so that's 5 1/4 inches. See? I know my math. I think the best bet right now is just get the table saw cranking and get some 3/4 strips. Come back to the bench and do a preliminary layout. If you're new to the channel, my apologies. I don't start with a detailed plan. And in this case, I don't even have a picture to borrow from. And I'm trying to make it out of strips where the one I saw was made with, oh Lord, the square hole thingy. Not mortise and tenon. You know, when they cut the square holes. Yeah, me math, but no English today. Whatever it is, I don't have it. And I think strips are cooler, and I get to use all my scraps. Back at the bench, we lay it out, and now my math skills are failing. I have this picture in my head, burning in my brain. It looks so easy, so symmetrical, but I'm just not getting it in the layout. I know my graph paper is buried in the cabinet, so I hit up GIMP. Make a simple grid, 3/4 by 3/4, and start laying out what I'm going for. It's not too hard, and I work out my cut list, which we all know I'll forget to put on the description, so I'm just going to tag it right here, assuming I remember that. Okay, we need 16 7-inch strips, 16 3/4 inch pieces. Oh, those are going to be a lot of fun to cut. 8 3 inches and 4 at 6. A quick hit through the scrap pile to look for likely pieces, and apparently my camera isn't focusing, so we'll cut this one real short. And since we already ripped things at the table saw, we'll just skip that and jump right to the miter saw and cut it all to size. Miter saws are pretty safe, all things considering, but go slow and keep your hands outside those danger zones in case a piece pivots and try to draw you into the blade. Nice! The camera's back working. We give it a quick layout, and yeah, I apparently didn't cut nearly enough pieces. As I said, my math was failing. I knew I should have taken my shoes off to help. I run back out, cut, and we're good to go. During the layout, I noticed that I have like 4 strips that are really dark. It was wood that was left out in the rain, in the junk pile, but somehow it's worked its way back into the scrap bin, and I love it. My first thought was make one side all dark. Then I decided to put one dark piece on each side. I'm not sure how it's going to look, and to be honest, once we sand it down, it might not even be dark after all, so it might be a moot point. Glue up. I have a confession here. I really wanted to go CA glue, but I always end up rushing and gluing myself to myself. And I haven't bought a pin nailer yet. I know. It's only $30, but that's like 1 million views on YouTube, so just kidding. I'm the guy who says, but Christmas is coming. Gives my wife something to buy for me. So we're going tight bond 3. It will allow a little more time for me to mess around and get it all square. I'll lay a right angle down, and I think we can just build it up from there. I cover each side with glue, slide it to join it, then space those little pieces by eyeball, and then putting a board down, screwing it tightly in. Have you ever seen epic upcycling? The dude's a master, like grandmaster. His builds are epic. The patience and persistence he has, oh Lord, give me 1/100th of his patience and his ability, his imagination for that matter. Epic creations from pallets and recycled materials. Worth the hour. But he has his great method for glue ups. I'm going to attempt it, my quickie version, based on his well thought out version. I clamp this contraption that will allow me to drive a wedge in and drive all the pieces in the back of the bench, making them tight. A quick test, and yeah, I think it'll work for now. Okay, so the glue up stunk, sort of. We'll make it work though. I added some CA glue off camera to pull some areas in with clamps and then let it dry again. So now we pick our best sides, give them a quick sanding at the one bench top. Then add some glue. Fill in all the cracks and load them with sawdust, then hit them up with the one again. Now look at that. It's so pretty. So now comes the hard part, the make it or break it part of the video. And I know one day I won't pull this off in time. And then you'll see me drill 5 holes in this piece of gorgeousness, drop in metal cups and call it a spalted maple live edge tea holder. And it'll probably go viral for all of 5 minutes of work. But we need to make compound cuts. I hate compound cuts. So I'm going to keep it simple and break it down into 2 steps. At the miter saw, I'm going to square the pieces. Then cut the trapezoids. I want a 1/2 inch taper, which comes to 3.5 degrees. I cut and I flip, cut and flip over and over again. Then I go to the table saw. I now need these to be 45-degree bevels. Yes, I know I could have done this all in one step, but the miter is sketchy at 45 degrees. It just feels off, and honestly, I felt safer doing it this way. I pull out my tapering jig, just a flat board with another board there with the angle I want, and then bevel each piece. Then I attempt to adjust the jig for the other side, and it all went wrong. I was patient, I didn't lose my cool, but it took at least 10 minutes before I actually got it right. Then I cut the other sides. Look, this can be done at a miter saw, bandsaw, scroll saw, or by hand as well. Once you have the angles down, it's smooth sailings. 45-degree bevel, 3.5-degree taper. Well, let's see how smooth it really is when we get to the glue up. And of course, we had some issues. Scrap wood is great, but sometimes you can't see all the flaws, or sometimes, like me, you just ignore them and hope. A couple cracks caused some splits and lost slivers. I do think when all is said and done, we'll be okay. I super glue the largest in place though, and let the other ride. Some light chisel work to try and get the edges to line up better, then I commit to the glue up. Tight Bond 3 and blue tape. All dried, I repeat the process. Glue, sawdust, sand until I get any defects filled to the best of my ability. Look, this isn't supposed to be rustic. Not pristine, it's pine, but I do want it a little better than just rustic. So I am trying to fill in the cracks here. Then it's stained. I'm going golden oak here. It's pure gold. No joke. On pine, it's gorgeous. It will show all the defects though, which is why I love it for rustic. But that's part of the charm. The lid will get stained black. And here we are. Any guesses? It's a potpourri holder. I cut a bottom, 3.5-degree bevel, and slid it in place. A little glue to hold it in. You put your potpourri in there, and it wafts gently through the holes, although right now I can only smell the stain. Sit it on the back of the toilet bowl or the loo, and you have a natural freshener. Lavender or rose petals in the spring, bee balm in the summer, cinnamon and pumpkin in the fall. Christmas, you have to go evergreen. What else? So, what do you think? Are you going to give it a try? And what top would you go? A single, double, or the dreaded curved one? As always, thank you for watching and choosing to spend 15 minutes to build with me. I hope I inspired you a little today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next time.